All right. Hi, everybody. My name's Coach Kathy, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So, my life story is pretty interesting. I don't think it's very special or different than a lot of people that can relate to me. I was born in 1974 to my mom's Vietnamese, and my dad was American. And I was born here. And growing up, I had a fairly decent childhood. We moved around a lot. Um, My father was an alcoholic, uh, and he used to be pretty abusive growing up, so that was a little bit rough. For many years, we went through a lot of physical abuse, and it really made me insecure my whole life. Um, I had a hard time fitting in with kids in elementary school. We moved a lot, so I wasn't really very secure with or stable with my surroundings ever. Always trying to fit in and doing what I could to fit in. Anyway, this happened a lot until I was in junior high, and I'd got bullied a lot as well. So for me, fitting in and feeling like where I fit, where nobody was bullying me or messing with me or hurting my feelings or anywhere I had to prove anything, was being involved with all the stoners and the bad kids. So as I grew up into being a teenager, I started hanging around all the bad kids, doing all the bad things, but at the same time trying to take care of my brother as well. So I had a lot of responsibility at home, but I was trying to run away from that responsibility as well. Then, anyway, in my high school years, I had a job. I quit school. I went to work. I smoked a lot of pot. I started getting in trouble. Um, got locked up a few times, and I was trying to run away from my life of responsibilities because it was a lot of stress for me in my life. Eventually, I got pregnant when I was 18, um, and had my first oldest son. And I was in a very abusive relationship for that whole time. My kid's father used to beat me up every single day we were together, called me names, and just dragged me through the dirt. And it was during that time where I became very, very chemically dependent on. I started off with cocaine, and then I learned about methamphetamines, and that was like my kryptonite. I felt like it made me a stronger, more powerful person because I was able to accomplish my life. I could take care of the kids, I could do my laundry, I could keep my house clean, I could keep him happy, or if he beat me up, it didn't hurt because I'd be high and I didn't care. And that's where my mentality was for a long time. And so through those years, just my life, I had two more kids after that. My life just, I didn't even know who I was. I didn't even know where I was going. I just knew I had these little kids to take care of, and I had this abusive husband that I didn't know what to do. I didn't know life could be any other way. And one day I up and left him, and but he took my kids away. He manipulated the system and got my kids, and I lost my mind. And so that was the beginning of a terrible, terrible drug binge and incarceration for me. Like, I just hated myself, and I just didn't care what happened to me, um, because nothing good was happening ever in my life. I didn't feel like I deserved better. So I battled that life for about 25 years, um, in and out of jail, in and out of prison, high on drugs, living on the streets, just trying to find my way, the most impossible way. So the last time I went to prison was in 2012, and I was married to a guy that wasn't so nice. He had a lot of affairs. He cheated on me a lot. He wasn't a very good guy, and I was kind of sneakily doing drugs, behind his back. And anyway, I got in trouble, and I ended up going to prison again for the last time. And I finally told myself, I can't do this anymore. My kids are going to hate me. I've got grandkids now. I'm getting too old for this stuff. And I went to prison again, and I really had to sit there and reflect on my life. Like, do I want to change? Do I want to grow up and keep living this pattern? Do I want to keep coming back to this place? I've got to figure it out. And I just decided that that was the time I had to really pull my head out and learn and figure it out. Prison wasn't easy. You have people telling you what to do 24 hours a day. They tell you when to eat, they tell you when to sleep, they tell you when you can shower, they tell you when you can go outside. You have no freedom at all. They tell you what you can and can't buy on commissary. They tell you how many items you can have in your room. If you have too many of something, they'll throw it away. Um, you have no freedom, you have no voice, you have nothing. So for me to get by day to day was to live minute by minute. And when I learned Gogi, that was another a way for me was breathing and belly breathing and meditation, um, keeping to myself, reading a lot. I read a lot. I went to a lot of classes. I studied a lot, and that's what helped get me through my days. The last time I was there for 3.5 years, and it was rough. You know, I never thought I was gonna get out, and I'll see the day you don't see the end of the tunnel for a long time when you're there for that long. You have to make the best of it. You either go with the bad crowd and spend your time in 23-hour lockdown, or you do something good for yourself so you don't go back. While I was there, I ran into an old friend that I used to run with on the streets, and she was telling me about Gogi, and I said, I don't, what is that? You know, I thought it was yoga. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go do that. That's weird. And anyway, I ended up going to the classes with her. And to me, it made sense to me. All the 12 tools made sense. The way to use the tools made sense to me. And something in my brain just clicked like, okay, I've got to do this. I've got to check it out because this is awesome. I had been through like countless drug treatment centers, counseling therapists. Um, I've done it all, and nothing seemed to click in my brain, or maybe it wasn't the right timing for me. I don't know what it was, but for me, Gogi was the thing. So I started doing it and learning it and learning more about myself and learning how to be the boss of my brain and learning how to belly breathe and letting go of the things that were weighing me down. Um, Letting go of all the drama, all the hate, all the pain, all the things I used to use for people to feel sorry for me, letting go of all that toxicity that I still had inside of me. It was hard, you know. I mean, when you're used to living a certain way of, oh gosh, you know, you're so dramatized, like I'm gonna make up the story so somebody's gonna feel bad for me, and and that's how I'm gonna get all this attention, or I'm gonna have to do this so people will like me. You know, maybe nobody's gonna like the real me, and letting go of little behaviors and addictions. That was really hard because for me to let go of everything I've been used to for the last like however many years that was, 30 something, 30, late 30s years of my life. So let go was scary to have to become this new raw person that I didn't, I was barely getting to know. But when I did it, it was amazing. The prison had moved me to a county jail, and there was nothing there. There was no classes, no programming. So I just brought it upon myself to start teaching it. And I wrote letters to Coach Taylor and Coach Carlson, and they helped me along the way. I had like 4 graduating classes in a year at one of the facilities I was at, and then I moved on to a different facility where they had a Gogi campus, and started doing it there with the ladies there. And I knew that when I got out, I had to hit the ground running with this. I had to just get out and try to do something the best I could, even if it was just me living a good example to try to help other people. That's all that mattered. I just wanted to be inspiring to show the world, like, look, I came from this to this, and if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I was pretty bad. I was gone. When I learned that that I was in charge of my own brain, I'm like, really? Am I? I thought my brain had a mind of its own. When I learned that I could be in charge of my own thoughts and, create new neurological pathways to make new habits, that was amazing to me, because that's all I wanted to do was change. I wanted to change my way of thinking. I wanted to be a good person. I wanted to change everything. And I was willing to do anything I had to do to change. And when I learned that, it made sense to me. I'm like, wow, how come I didn't know all these things before? So learning how to change my thought patterns and get from negative to positive and making consistent changes to becoming new habits. That's what did it for me, and that's what was incredible for me. And then the second part was learning how to breathe and be able to do so, because with the belly breathing, um, getting all the oxygen you need in your blood and up to your brain so that you can make better decisions. I didn't even know that was possible. Uh, I was such a chest breather before and it explains a lot of reasons why I was the way I was, because I wasn't breathing right, and I was just, my brain was not even functioning correctly. So becoming a coach was my biggest goal ever back then, because I wanted it more than anything, because I knew I had it in me to be something great, to be a great mentor, a great leader, but I knew I had to work for it. Back when I did GOGI, it was a little bit different than how it is today, because it's grown and expanded so much. But first I had to be a peer mentor. I brought, and mentor and teach so many, people. And I had to do the work. I had to do workbooks, and I had to prove that I was mentoring all these fabulous women. And I was sending in the rosters for all my classes, assignments, homework, everything that we were learning, everything I was teaching them. So that I moved on and got my peer coach. And with that, I still had to do the same thing, but there was just a little more steps, a little more footwork, a lot of writing, a whole lot of writing and digging deep. And so I did all that and sent that in. And for the coach certification, I had to do a my life story and give a gift to GOGI. And that was really hard to, even after everything I'd been accomplishing, is really have to dig deep inside myself and present this to GOGI. Like, okay, now here's all of it. Here's all of me, And I did that, and I just continued the whole teaching and coaching process, working on myself, working with others. And eventually I got my coach certification right before I was released home. So, it's just not something that you can be like, oh, I want to get my coach certification because I think, I just want the status. No, you really have to put forth the work and work your tools and teach your tools and help others. I think helping others is what's helped me along the way more than even helping myself. That's what's helped me was learning from others. So for me, it's just being a good example for anybody around me, my kids, my family, connecting with others that have done the program with me, keeping in contact with my coaches. Sometimes I get out to California and I get to do a prison run, and I get to be there again on the opposite side. That's really been amazing for me. And I do my best every day to stay with the program. I just want to say that anybody that's involved with GOGI and knows about GOGI or wants to know about GOGI, do it every day of your life. Eat, breathe, sleep, GOGI, no matter how you're doing it, because you will be where you dream you're going to be. All your dreams are going to come true. I promise you. I'm living proof of that. And I just want to say, just keep doing it and just always be GOGI for life. And, we're always out here, and there's always a way to reach out. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I believe we're on LinkedIn. Social media, just reach out, send us a message. If you're ever having troubles or have any questions, just reach out to us. Besides all that, on a personal note, using GOGI in my everyday life, I have got a really good job. I've got a great husband. I'm getting ready to buy my mom's house. I have relationships with my kids again, and we're all close again. I have beautiful grandchildren I get to see whenever I want. Um, my relationship with my family is so much better. They trust me. My relationships are wonderful. Yeah, I've been able to maintain some very strong, close friendships through all of this too, where before I couldn't. So a lot of great things have happened, since I've had GOGI in my life, and so I get a little emotional. But I'm really grateful for everything that this program's given me, and that I've been able to give back in so many different ways. It's been incredible, and I thank Coach Taylor and Coach Carlson, the bottom of my heart for giving me this, because they were the ones, and because of them believing in me and pushing me along the way is why I'm here today. So I really didn't think I was gonna start crying.
And I was on my way to college in a year too. Damn, man, what did I get into?
He can change the world. Instead he's doing time, running around blind. Such a beautiful mind. He can change the world. Instead he's doing time, running around blind. Such a beautiful mind. Change the world. Such a beautiful mind. Change the world. Such a beautiful mind. Change the world. Such a beautiful mind.
And they talking about life now scaring them. He wanted to earn stripes, now he wearing them. He sacrificed for a rep and took a life for respect, and made the papers of the inmates praise him. Gangster, what the inmates say to him. OG say, I knew your pops and you favor him. So what you in here for? Armed robbery and murder? Man, be strong, we all gotta be. Cause see, you can appeal and get off probably. Hit the law library and use your mind and see. They say your mind set you free. So a prisoner in the mind, I'll never be, never be, never be.
He can change the world. Instead he's doing time, running around blind. Such a beautiful mind. He can change the world. Instead he's doing time, running around blind. Such a beautiful mind. Change the world. Such a beautiful mind. Such a beautiful mind. Change the world. Such a beautiful mind. Change the world. Such a beautiful mind.
GOGI for life.